You've read all about the law of attraction. You've tried to stay positive, visualize, manifest, but you're still attracting the same kind of relationship where you feel dismissed or manipulated. And it's not just with your relationships. The same money stress keeps showing up in your life. The same health issues won't go away. And it's like no matter how hard you try, life keeps delivering the same pain with a different face. It isn't
Mm.
bad luck, and it's not the universe testing you. I'm Crystal Dirksen, your co-host. In this episode of the Robert Jean Experience, we're talking about what's really going on with the law of attraction and how trauma is attracting what you consciously don't want. Robert
Yes.
Jean, your host, is a neuroplastician and behavioral engineer. He's one of America's leading experts in stress, trauma, and PTSD. He's also the creator of Tactics and FasterEFT, a powerful system that helps take control of your life by addressing the real cause of problems.
Mm.
Robert, we're talking about the law of attraction today. I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, it's really very powerful, this mind of ours, and we really don't really understand it very well. But it is the law of attraction machine. Now, again, what does a law of attraction mean? You attract what you hold from within. I started out in early days, and back when they had the law of attraction, and all these guys, and but they have, oh yeah, that right there, yeah, the secret, yeah. But see,
Yeah,
the problem with the secret is not in the secret. The movie called The Secret.
crazy.
And so what is the secret to manifesting and attracting? Because a lot of people watch Esther Hicks, and she tries to be the positive thing, and there's a lot of other law of attraction stuff, and doing the positive affirmations and all this, and they could work if the whole self, mind, consciousness, and unconsciousness is all in alignment with it. But the problem is, if you consciously want this, but your unconscious says, we don't think so, we know better, we got proof and references, and they're going to keep you in a line to your training, your survival training, your autonomic system will keep you in alignment with the thermometer on the wall. The thermometer on the wall says, this is how we do it. And it's going to pull you right back to this is how we do it. So, yeah, so the secret to the secret that isn't in the secret is super simple.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Because what they're trying to do is I'm trying to find something. I got this pen here. So we want this pen, and the pen's outside of us. So we're going to try to put it in. We want an idea. We want a belief. We want something. We want to put it in ourselves. Well, the problem is your unconscious operating system, the limbic operating system, the survival system, has a complete operating system. And so if this doesn't align what we already have with the mind, guess which one wins? The one that has the most resources. So you're consciously, you get this idea, I want something better. I want a better partner. I want better money. I want better health. And this is an idea floating around in your consciousness. But the smartest part about us, the manifesting machine about us, will always keep us in alignment with what we hold inside. Now, what you hold inside starts at birth. We can document that one all the way up to present moment. And it's how you were treated by your parents, your siblings, the school teachers, the kids on the bus, your environment. How you're treated. These are trainings on identity, value, and manifestation. So if you come from a crazy emotional environment, paranoid schizophrenia, crazy alcoholics, controlaholics, you name it, extreme narcissistic patterns and behaviors, these are all going to train you. These are going to impact you. These are going to educate you. And this information will reside beyond conscious awareness. A lot of times you don't even think about it, but they allow you to pick and do what you said consciously, I don't want to do. Right? So there's this craziness. So the true law of attraction, Or the secret to the secret is this. I got an empty cup here, but let's say this cup is full, full of everything you don't want, full of the hurts, the pains, the miseries. And then you watch a video, a positive video says, you can manifest a different life by trying to be positive. Well, the problem is if you're full of misery, hurt, and pain, and you're going to try to put it in your brain, where's it going to go? It won't fit in because there is an internal conflict. What's inside of you is more powerful than what's outside of you and the idea you'd like to have. So that's where the big conflict is. Your unconscious trainings and conditionings will win over a little book you read about being positive. You know?
Right.
So the secret to the secret is this. You go inside of your mind and you change the unpleasantries in your mind. You got to change the how-tos, the emotional trainings. Now, what are the how-tos, emotional trainings? Watching mom and dad fight. Your siblings and how they treat you and how people beat you up at school. These are the how-tos. These are your autonomic responding system. This is the part that makes you sweat and have a panic attack, even though you don't want them. It's the trainings which you attract. So the brain is a natural law of attraction machine. Now, why would it attract bad things? To the brain, the limbic brain system, we call it intelligent idiot. It doesn't know it's bad. It says, this is how the world is, and I'm going to fit in the world dynamics. I fit into the puzzle, the pieces of the puzzle. Like I said, some people said, well, I come from a dysfunctional family. I said, first of all, there's no such thing as dysfunctional family. Every family functions. It functions. Matter of fact, it functions so well, you'll leave that one and go find one either better or worse than the one you just left. Or you'll create it within yourself for yourself. So if you look at it in a really practical way, your brain naturally attracts and brings to you what you already believe to be true because it's real inside your head. Even if it's false to everyone else, it's real to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to bring the law of attraction, the definition of it, the way most people have been taught it, the traditional way. So the law of attraction is the universal principle where that states that like attracts like. In essence, they say over and over again, your thoughts become things. So with everything that you said, and with this statement that like attracts like, so your cup is full, and your cup is full of all, like, let's say this is brown water. So now this is polluted. I mean, but to you, you're not saying it's polluted. It's my emotional trainings. But I'm experiencing negative experiences in my life because I'm holding that on the inside of me, the emotional trainings. And so we are always attracting, whether it's good.
Yes, right. So the thing is what you think. Now, what is thinking? Thinking is how you process and see the world from inside your head. So again, you may have dirty water and you come from a dirty water culture. You only drink dirty water. And if you have clean water, there's something wrong with it. So your belief system and your structure is coming from your training. You're judging the dirty water as bad. But the crazy thing is that you keep feeling the same bad feeling consistently your whole life. You feel rejected your whole life. You feel not good enough your whole life. You feel like you're inadequate your whole life. And where did you get this training? You got it from your trainers. And who are your trainers? Mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, and uncle. Teachers. And you take it and you process it and you create it. Right. So you'll always attract what you're in alignment with. Now, your alignment is the thermometer on the wall says, I will take X, Y, or Z abuse only if it doesn't go too high or too low. I got to keep it in equal balance. So you attract what you hold within. You attract what you believe you deserved. Based on, now by your belief is created by memories and references and emotional trainings from our trainers. Now we say trainers on about your abusive father, your brother, your sister, whoever it is. These are trainings as well. So that's why people attract what they don't want. And it's like they want a better relationship. Says my picker is broken. It keeps picking the same person.
Right. That's
Different
right.
name, different shoe size, same emotional programmings I have.
Hmm.
So again, that's the law of attraction.
Right. And with all the gurus out there, like there are so many people that talk about the law of attraction. They are masters at the law of attraction. And
Mhm.
yet you will still hear them talking about focusing on the positive thoughts.
Mhm.
Keep, Robert, you keep on focusing on those positive thoughts and you won't
Mhm.
attract that bad relationship. You won't experience that bad experience, whatever that will be.
Yeah, wish that was true. It could be true, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
This is I have a process called Ultimate Manifestation Process, UMP.
Yes.
And basically it is a sure, safe program to attract what you really want. The problem with having what you want is all the references that says screw you, you can't have it. We have proof why you shouldn't have that. We have memories and references that says, you're not going to do that. And so the key to getting what you want is eliminating everything that keeps you from having it. Because, I've seen this so many times. I want it, I do everything I can, but there's a part of me, and guess what? That's the limbic operating system, the survival system. You can call it, they call it the reptilian brain, I call it the survival brain. It's going to keep you in alignment.
Hmm.
And even if you have what you wanted, you're still miserable. They didn't
Yes.
get rid of the misery.
Yes. So if someone wants to manifest, let's say it's a certain house,
Mm-hmm.
okay? It's this certain house, and now they visualize it and they might even say, that house is mine, and they might have all the affirmations to go with it. But yet they have that little feeling, that inkling in the background. That's what you're talking about, where part of you really doesn't believe it. That's like the unconscious, like, I don't know
Well,
if I can get that house, or all the
right.
resistance to
Yeah.
experiencing.
But you have to understand, you're saying I don't think I deserve that. Now the truth is, it's not really that. It's
Oh,
really something before that idea, and that is maybe being around your parents and your dad, and they're talking about, people who live in houses like that. I hate them. They're crooks and they're liars. So you, at an unconscious level, pick it up. If I have this house, my dad won't like me, and I'll be a crooked liar, etc. So these are emotional trainings about having something outside of your normal trainings. You're breaking the violation of their brain's operating system, the family dynamics. And so now you're going to step out. That's why you'll have panic attacks. That's why you'll sabotage yourself, because there's two rules. Consciously, I like, unconscious says, there's no way, it's not safe. And we have proof.
yes.
So, in
Wow.
order to get what you say consciously you want, you have to be completely in alignment with it. And
Hmm.
what keeps you from being alignment is not consciousness, it's unconsciousness.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
now
this.
unconscious, when I say unconscious, it's memories. Memories, and trainings and experiences and ideas and beliefs.
Hmm. So
That's
this,
what keeps you where you are. That's what keeps you from moving forward, because it's smarter than you consciously. It has proof it's not safe based on experiences with whoever.
yeah, and so it's like traumas. If you've
Well,
had
they are
any.
traumas. I mean, you have to understand, everyone has, we call, now you have to understand, my definition of trauma is an emotional education on how to survive. So if you've been trained by your parents that people who have money are non-spiritual people, people
Yes.
who have money are liars and thieves. So again, if you grew up in this life training, these are actual facts to those people who've been trained that way.
Yes, I've been trained that way. I
Yeah. Okay.
I used to work for one of the wealthiest agricultural men in this area, and he came over to talk to my dad to buy a piece of land. And I knew my dad was going on one of his rants. And my dad walked up to him, and he knew he was a wealthy man. So every wealthy man, my dad had to talk to him. So my dad walked up to him and said to him, "You know that if you have that much money, it's very hard to get into heaven." And my dad gave him the scriptures. And my dad's not a Bible scholar. He didn't go to church, and he has the reverence toward God, but really doesn't live the lifestyle. But after I heard that conversation, I thought, man, I am not stupid. I am not going to make that much money because I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's emotional training.
Yeah. And it's unfortunately untrue trainings, you know.
True.
But
Yeah.
again, now granted, people who have this belief has had also experiences, also been trained. You know, the weirdest thing, I always say this frequently, I say the weirdest thing, money is evil. So why did the church want it? You know, they're always ending out, they're trying to take you from your evil, right? So it's just bizarre thinking, but it's not the love of money. It is the internal world of the individual and what it is and why you do it. And it's your own emotional ethics. So again, yeah, but these are trainings to keep you from having and manifesting to keep you small. So that
Yes.
when you think about it, who benefits if you teach that the love of money is evil and you're willing to take their evil from them? Every Sunday, we'll take 10% plus.
Wow.
Lighten
Yeah.
your load of evilness.
Yes. Yeah. Don't forget your offerings and your first fruits.
Now, as a matter of fact, you know, I grew up in church too. By the way, my system is not Christian. It's not anti-Christian either. So I do speak from this model because I grew up with it. But there's a scripture used in church. I'll give you the abbreviated version that they will use, but they're not going to give you the full version. It says, "Give, and it will be given unto you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure used, it will be measured to you." Now, again, they usually use that one at offering time, you know?
Mhm.
But if you read it in context, it has a whole bigger picture about the law of attraction. And of course, if you wonder where this is, it's Luke 8. I think Luke 6, verse 37 through 38. It says, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it'll be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, run over, poured into your lap." So what it's saying is that if you hate people, you'll be hated. If you'll be angry at people, you'll receive anger. If you condemn others, you'll be condemned. So the law of attraction says what you hold in mind, practice in mind, you get. So if you're laying around worrying about something bad going to happen, bad is already happening inside you. And you'll see it even if it's not there. So our brain is a natural law of attraction machine. And I can even prove it to you. It's really simple. You use it all the time, this law of attraction part of your brain. It starts with questions. Where's my shoes? You know what the brain's going to do? Shh. How about travel by the front door? What time is it? Let's find a clock. What am I going to eat for breakfast? It says, well, let's go look in there and say, oh, we got eggs. How about some eggs and some bacon? So this part of your brain is always manifesting and producing. Now, when you hear a bad story, an unhappy story, a very unhealthy story, and your brain captures that memory and it internalizes it, you'll attract that. And so that's how we inadvertently, unconsciously, or even consciously learn and develop unpleasant things in our life. It's like when I said with relationships, the woman says, I just don't get it. I'm very successful in the financial world. I'm very successful. I make a lot of money. I'm very successful. I make a lot of money. But I really suck in relationships. I mean, I'm a failure in relationships. And of course, my belief system says she's not. She's judging her relationships. So we go back and we look at her childhood and look at her model of relationships. Well, guess what? Her model relationship is exactly what she's getting today. Matter of fact, she's kind of improved it or made it worse. Right? It's like she's outperformed the family, which is, by the way, normal. So if you have memories and references of dad misusing mom or mom abusing dad or brother beating up sister or sister beating up mom, these are emotional trainings. They go into you, and these are the how-tos. Memories are just trainings. Memories are how you operate and control, and to control from, to operate from, and to act from. And the woman says, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why is it that I keep finding men who abuse me and use me? And I said, well, do you have any abuse in your life? She said, no, I've never been abused. No one's ever abused me. I said, do you know anyone else who's been abused in your life? Oh, yeah, of course. My mother would abuse my sister and my brother. They never touched me. They never abused me. And my dad would be abusive towards my mom. So here it is, even though she was never abused, but she went to university called the Abuse 101 course. And she made straight A's. And then she left home with her stories in her head, and her law of attraction says, ooh, I don't know about this person. I resonate with them. It feels like family. Oh, I feel like I'm in love. But really, it's just the trainings. It's the emotional holdings. It's the law of attraction in action.
Right. Yes.
So
Yes.
that's how traumas, again, emotional traumas, are emotional trainings to help you stay in alignment. Now, here's the problem. What you're attracted to is also what's the noose around your neck because of the trainers you got. It's like the lady, she says, I just don't get it, Robert. She says, I keep dating alcoholics. And she says, I can look on my mom's side, there's no alcoholics. I look on my dad's side, there's no alcoholics. Where did this come from? I said, well, there's a lot of reasons how it could get there. And I don't know, we'll start working on you. So all of a sudden, as we're working on her, a memory popped up way back in her database, which, by the way, memories become catalysts on who we are, who we're to act. Now, again, there's a positive trauma. What's a positive trauma? A trauma is an experience that alters your behavior and affects your decisions, and it could affect your identity. All right? So that's a good one and a bad one. The bad one could be physical abuse. A good one could be a positive emotional experience. But because of that experience, it taints and tilts the world for you. So here it is, this little girl. It's at a Christmas gathering, and she loves her grandpa. Grandpa loves her. They just have a really loving connection, right? So she goes up, runs in the house, and Grandpa's in there. He's sitting at the kitchen. He's sitting at the in the recliner, and he has a glass of wine next to him. And she runs and says, "Papa," and she jumps on his lap and hugs him. And she smells that smell of alcohol while feeling loved with Grandpa. Grandpa drank alcohol, and the smell of alcohol, ring the bell, feed the dog. Ring the bell. So in her mind, it linked these two together as one. And I will say this, I'll pause here. All problems and all successes are designed by linked emotions, feelings, and processes. So this little girl, even though it was years and years and years long before she ever started dating, so she's out there on the dance floor, she dancing with this guy, and he smells the breath. Love is in the air. And of course, if you start dating alcoholics, that comes with a whole new ball game of problems.
Absolutely. Wow.
So this is how it was installed. That's unconscious. She didn't even know it was there when we started.
Wow. Right.
So
And I
this,
know I've worked with you. Same thing has happened where these memories start surfacing. So can you say that again? All problems are links?
they have links. They're linked to programs, or linked to people, and linked to internal, external practices. So everything is linked together. Like, for example, if you hate something,
Right.
there's a link somewhere. You can't. Why would you hate? I got some
Right.
clothes here. Why would you hate clothes?
Yeah.
Clothes
Yeah.
do nothing. They lay there, right? But why would you hate it? There's a link somewhere,
Yes.
and you go back. Like the woman who had an addiction to Mountain Dew. I mean, she was drinking a 6-pack a day, and she can't sleep at night.
Well,
And she
yeah.
says, I don't understand why I'm drinking it. I said, well, how long have you been drinking it like this? She said, oh, Mom, about, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, years, I don't know. And she goes, I said, what happened back then? She goes, nothing. I said, well, think about it. What happened. You start drinking it. You start to have this addiction, so to speak. What happened in your life? She goes, oh, my mother died. Okay. Mother died. Then all of a sudden she has this Mountain Dew addiction. So we pull up Mountain Dew, and I have a process. We actually change the flavors of food and change it. And all of a sudden a memory pops in, a link to this Mountain Dew. And she said, it reminds me When I was a little girl, we're talking about the flavor and the taste and such. It reminds me of when I was a little girl. Mom was in the kitchen and she made lemon meringue pie. And it was just me and her, and she gave me a special piece. While she's feeling love, and that twang in the Mountain Dew is linked all the way to linked in the lemon meringue pie is linked all the way to that Mountain Dew. So it's linked. So again, the law of attraction and action. So she attracted, and the reason why she did that is she wanted love, mama's love. And that little taste was linked all the way back to mama and the lemon meringue pie.
Wow.
Illnesses are exactly the same way. I work with so many people who are severely ill, and it's linked back to unpleasant experiences. Now, although, by the way, remember, for the little girl, that was a positive emotional experience, positive trauma. Love me and lemon meringue pie. But the problem is, love went into the pie, not into mama.
Yes. Yes. Wow. You talked about what makes something, you were talking about identity filters. So what makes something affect your identity?
Well, we have experiences. Now, again, I have a cell phone here. I'll use a cell phone. All right. So the cell phone is when you're born in this world, I call it the dynamic force of survival system, the survival part of us. And I'm going to call it, who are you? Now, who you are today is built based on the foundation of who you really are. So who you really are, you are a dynamic force at birth. And this dynamic force is always creating and manifesting. So the identity is created, first of all, survival. This is all survival. And so whatever you experience from birth onwards, it affects who you think you are. So if your grandma thinks you're wonderful and treats you wonderful, and your other parents treat you nice and wonderful, all these are what we call filters on that dynamic force, which that dynamic force will create an identity and value.
Mm-hmm.
It'll create a character. Now, the bad thing is, we talk about, psychologists say you're imprinted 7 years of your life. That's not true. You're imprinted your whole life, and imprints are updated and changed all the time. Some are, some aren't, depends on how good they are. And so
Yeah.
you can have a little happy little go lucky boy, a little go lucky boy, a girl, and they have a really great time. And the new filter comes in, like someone physically abused you or sexually abused you, or you saw some horrible thing. This filter now determines you become shy and scared. You have panic attacks, fears, and anxieties, right? Just by one little filter.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go back and change that filter. You can redesign your whole life again. Your personality will change if you change your bad memories.
That's
You will not be a doormat hiding under the bed anymore. You'll be standing on top of the roof. Right?
yeah.
So again, the law of attraction is just says you attract from what you hold within your mind, not what you're trying to put in. It attracts what's already in. So again, if you're full of unconscious, unpleasant, unhappy moments and memories and experiences, and you want to be positive, which one has the most resources, unconscious or consciousness?
Unconscious.
Of course. It's the one that knows how to drive the car, get you to work, and you put your makeup on, you have your sandwich, you talk on your phone. You still get there and don't even remember the drive.
That's right. Wow.
So the course that I talk about, or the ultimate manifestation process, this is how you get what you want. You want this, X, Y, or Z, whatever you want, and then we write a list of every reason why you can't have it. Every experience that supports you not having it.
Mm-hmm.
That's your unconscious resistance.
Right.
So what we do is we inoculate the resistance. We just change all the resistance, and you just have it. You be it, and you are.
Right. So the resistance is all the conflict that we're having with.
It's the training, it's the fears, it's the anxiety, it's what your mom said, it's what your brother said. All of these are what's going to hinder you manifesting something consciously you think is really good for you.
All the way to the tiniest little bits and parts, or the tiniest.
It could be as simple as you lost your pen.
Oh my Lord.
Could be because again, remember, losing your pen was a very traumatic experience for you, and you may create an idea I can never have anything good.
Right.
And then you start your whole life building this value that you can't have anything good. If it's good, somebody's going to take it, steal it from you.
Wow. Well, that's so interesting because after I started having kids, they start breaking my things. And I'm like, I can't really have nice things. Interesting.
I just say trade them off for something that won't break anything. Just
Oh
kidding, kidding.
God. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So again, it could be one of your programs, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Just get new kids. Move.
That's the answer. All right. Oh, oh, I knew that you had the answer, Robert.
I just try to be funny.
I know. Okay, so
But
back.
another thing too is that also your interaction with your kids, your problems are, I say problems now, in my world, a problem is an undesirable outcome. So your problems that you believe about yourself, you're trained to have your kids to have too, without ever saying this is how we do it. They watch
Right.
you, they witness you, and they hear your words.
Yeah.
So you're also training them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Going back to the process, the ultimate manifestation process.
Right.
I know that's in level one. Do you have another
It's
course?
that's abbreviated. Level one is abbreviated version of it. I just talk about it basically. Yes, there is a course called Ultimate Manifestation Process. You can manifest anything you want in your life, and I guarantee it works. You do everything it said, it will work, no
Wow,
doubt.
amazing. And I know it works. So,
Yeah, yeah, it does.
well, we can link that in the show notes as well.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Just remember, when you want something, the only thing that's keeping you from it is your limited beliefs. Now, even though they call it limited, I really would call it the survival trainings that you have that you're trying to violate.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not just the belief, the limiting beliefs. It's not, there's all the inner resources.
No, again, limited beliefs. I mean, they throw this word out like I just have this limited belief. It's like I say you
Yes.
don't have a limited belief. You have a complete structure,
Wow.
family dynamics,
Right there.
experiences,
Yeah.
feeling, everything. So you have many resources. And so
Mhm.
knowing how to decode that, break it down and shift it and change it, you can have anything you want.
Yes, I like how you said that. It's not just a limiting belief. There's a whole
Mhm.
structure. There's a
Is it? Yeah.
structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And see,
yeah.
what people will do is consciously say, well, I have a limiting belief that I don't deserve this, whatever it
Mhm.
is, right? Or I have a limiting belief that, I'm not good enough. I said, well, it's not a limiting belief. It's a very successful belief.
Yeah.
And why would you have the feeling of not good enough? Well, because of your trainings, that's how they talk to you and the things that you did wrong and the things that you're guilting yourself from. So all of these, not a limiting belief is a very powerful belief, but it limits you from what you consciously want. So
Mhm.
consciousness is here, unconscious is everywhere, and then you're going to try to override the unconscious program, and you can't do it unless you know how it works. And in order to change a belief, it's simple. You got to change its resources and you got to change the kinesthetic responses to it, the feelings attached to it.
Yeah.
Those two make any belief real and true.
Hmm. And I know in the self-development, there's a lot of, and maybe even the New Age circle, I don't even know what to call this circle, but we spoke a lot about blocks and we came from this is you have a block. And then we would look at all the reasons you have this block. And I want to talk about this a little bit into with finances because I know there's gurus out there that have, these are the many blocks that you can have or that you have with these are the abundance blocks. And so one of the gurus that I followed would look at, the individual blocks that you have. So let's say you have a block that, this is an abundant universe, and you would look at those blocks. Do you or does your system have anything to do with looking at, or do you have like, I don't know, do you have a list or anything? Because these gurus have like a list of these are the main blocks that you'll find in the United States. These are the main blocks that you'll find in this country, in that country.
Well, I mean, if you're going to say blocks, I would probably say, do you mean emotional trainings?
Well, that's what they would mean, but that's not how they phrase it. So when
Well, that's
they're
because
talking about,
remember, they think it's something inside that's not right.
Correct. That's
They
all.
think there's a block inside, it's a
Right.
hexagon or a square block or whatever. They
Yes.
think there is no block inside, but there are proof and references that your mind is using to keep you in alignment with where you came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So all you have to do, whatever the seemingly block is, it's not a block. Remember, your brain is a survival system, and that block is a successful outcome based on your trainings, but you're not happy and contented with it. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're not, then you consciously have to step into the unconscious resources, and then you need to change those resources, which are memories. They're just memories. You change and update the memory, you change the behavior.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, you're not going to struggle to have it. You'll just be it, do it, and have it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how when I hear you say, when you talk about the inner resources, oh, you're just in alignment with it, it feels freeing. But then when I hear, oh, you have a block, immediately I'm like, oh crap, I have a block.
You're screwed.
Yeah, I'm screwed. And so does that tie into where a lot of people will continue to like, I need to clear these blocks, I need to
Yeah,
clear these blocks. And so
yeah, yeah.
you're on
But see,
this hunt
yeah.
for
But the
blocks.
problem is these systems that you're talking about, they don't know how to change the block, which is memories. If you can't change the memories, you can't change the block.
Right.
The memories are what drives the behaviors. Memories are the programmings. Memories are how to. And so a lot of people, again, they'll just keep repeating a cycle over and over again. But see, the missing pieces are in the details of what a block is.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll say that because I've been in those circles for years. I know what they do. I know their processes. I will say that they know partially how to change memories,
Mhm.
but they don't have the whole thing. So they're going in the memory, they're looking at it. They might change bits and pieces of it,
Right. Yeah.
but
Segment. Yeah.
there's no system to what they're doing because you have to be intuitive. And now this is, I was trained with my intuition. So now I have to go to the age, I have to know exactly what I need to look at there
Hmm.
based on intuitive downloads.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not intuitive at all. So, and
Okay.
I get shit done. So, but I do always say, now, what is intuition, first of all? Now, a lot of time we say being intuitive, guess from your higher self or wherever they're saying it's coming from. My intuition is intuitive knowing because I've done it 1,000 times. I can walk across the floor. I know how to drive my truck and just get in without, I intuitive know how to drive it because I've had experiences. So when we're talking about, um, when I train my students and when you come to see me, I don't know how you do this. I just know that you do this well, whatever this problem is. And so
Mhm.
I have what we call the art of change, which is a structural system to break down, to figure out what it is, where it is, how it is, why it is, and what you do to make it happen. So we get us a really clear understanding how successful you're having what you don't want. And then we start changing all the pieces. Then you start to create something different.
Mhm. Yeah, good.
It's the power of the mind. It's again, the mind is the law of attraction machine 101. It's a recycling system. It recycles your past over and over again. It recycles the same emotions over and over again. And there was a woman who she was she's had some bad experiences with me, and I mean this is a standard story I've taught for years because it's a foundation. Is Her friends want to get her to come and see me, and she was so terrified to come see me. One, what I do, and two, I'm a man. And so she comes in, and of course, her friend's there, and she says, well, what's the problem? I says, well, there's no good men on earth. I said, no good men on earth. No, no good men. I said, when I lived in California, I dated rich man, poor man, fat one, short one, skinny one, black one, white one. I even dated a midget. They're all bad.
Wow.
And I thought, well, in my head, I did say, well, great. She's very talented at finding something wrong. And that's a really great talent, except you never see anything right. So I said, well, tell me about your life growing up as a child. Because I know this is a program. This is a filter in which she discovered how to stay alive. She goes, well, I was born. I have a brother or sister. My mom got divorced and a new dad came in my life. She said, my stepdad, I kept record. on my calendar every day, he said something wrong. Everything he said something bad about me. So she began at a very early age to collect and accumulate and to focus on everything he does wrong. He's a bad man. Now, at 16 years old, now let me just explain this too. She sees him being bad and saying bad things. So she's also getting training to be what? Either one, a doormat, an empath you would call, or two, to be just like him. So this is trying to be like him, find everything wrong, or be the victim and taking on everything wrong. So guess what? She, at 16, she finds this guy, or this guy finds her, and she ran away from this horrific experience. Right now she's married to this guy. Who do you think she was in this relationship? She was like the stepdad. All this emotional training. She perfected this art of being fault finding. So guess what? For 16 years, this man put up with her. He said, I'm done. And they're divorced. Now she'd been single for 16 years.
Wow.
She'd come to my office. And so one of the biggest problems that she didn't believe, I don't remember what the affirmation was, she didn't feel like she deserved to be loved. It wasn't safe to be loved. Now, she wanted love from her stepdad, but all he did was love her in a way that trained her to be fault finding. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we cleaned up this, all the rejections, all the abandonments, everything that's hurt and said and did. And she said, there's this guy at work fancies me and he's not my type. I said, most likely he isn't. Your type was supposed to find something wrong, right? So I said, well, and I gave her a simple affirmation to use it. I don't know, say it's safe to love me. It's okay to be loved, something simple.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up marrying this guy. And after she's like in her, I don't know how many years, 50 something years, she said, in 50 something years, I never in my life have I ever felt loved, ever, up until now. So again, she learned these programs from her trainers, and the law of attraction kept attracting over and over again the same thing she holds. So again, it happens with good stuff too. If you have more good stuff, more of the good stuff inside you, the more you practice, rehearse it, replay it, the more you attract.
Mm-hmm.
And it works both directions. Neither one are failures.
Like attracts like.
Well, you attract what you are. You attract what you hold in. And by the way, if some nice guy came to her life, which she had a nice guy, it wasn't like the one she was used to, she didn't feel comfortable because her heart was set on something she's familiar with.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't like that at first, she said. Yeah, right.
Right. Yes. And you said you gave her an affirmation. Can you talk about affirmations? Because you have a different perspective on affirmations than.
Right. Well, affirmations are not positive and they're not negative. They're everything. So a lot of people say it has to be said in a positive way. I said, well, first of all, affirmations are anything you affirm. Now, there's 5 basic ways we affirm things. It's not just saying, a lot of people probably listen to this call have done the positive affirmation stuff out there, and it just didn't work, right?
Yes.
And you know why it didn't work? Because you're not in alignment with it.
That's right. Yeah.
And so with we clean up the alignment. So positive affirmations or affirmations in general are not just positive. Positive affirmations in general is this. Saying nice things is an affirmation. Or matter of fact, listen to what your mother said to you. That's an affirmation. And that's bad or good. So bad is an affirmation. If you remember and you recall and you hear in your head, you're a loser and never amount to anything, that's an affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you affirm it, the better it gets and bigger it gets. So affirmations are, yes, auditory words. And it's either words in your head someone else said or words you say yourself. Affirmations are not words at all. Affirmations could be watching and looking at bad memories in your mind. Mm-hmm. Looking at bad imageries, bad abuses, bad traumas in your head is an affirmation. And so is good ones too. I reached my point at the bad because we don't get rid of the bad, we keep all the good.
Yeah.
Now the problem is somebody say, well, I want to ignore the bad and try to be positive. Well, here's the problem. This has more resources than your positivity because when you put down your practice, it's going to overtake you. Mm-hmm. So we just get rid of that and save us a lot of problems. We go to the negative and clean it out. So affirmations are images we see in our head, visuals. Mm-hmm. Affirmations are words we hear inside ourselves, and when we say, it's either their words or our words. Everything inside you is you. The next one is an affirmation is, I just feel bad, is an affirmation. A feeling by itself without a word, without an image, is an affirmation. Is a kinesthetic affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have good feelings and bad feelings. Both of these are affirmations. The more you practice the bad, the better you get at being bad.
Right. Yeah.
Same with the good.
It
And
feels
then we
so
have
good to feel bad.
then we have smell affirmations and taste
Right.
affirmations. So our brains is a natural affirming system. If you wake up in the morning looking for everything right, you're going to start finding more right. If you wake up in the morning looking for everything wrong, you're going to see more wrong. If you drive to work, you imagine how bad the scenario is going to be, you're going to attract that because you're going to be that and do that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that's how the brain works. Now, the thing is, if you're ignorant, which a lot of people are listening to this call are ignorant, and so am I in different areas. But this one area I'm very smart in.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not know how to change and adjust the memory references, or you're unwilling, then you'll never be able to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
It'll overcome you. Like for example, this guy named Tim is a good guy. I met him at Toastmasters, and he's really up there. He's like really very smart guy. His life's all going for him. Known him for years, and then I get a phone call, he book a session with me. So I go out to foyer and I bring him in. He looked like a drug addict, like somebody just beat him up really bad. I go, hey Tim, what's going on? He goes, oh, I've got a noose hung up in my attic. I'm ready to kill myself. I said, what's wrong, Tim? Well, he did something stupid and life is falling apart. He says, I think the world would be better without me. I said, your kids too? Your kids and your mom, you'll all be better without you. And so I started working on his miserableness. Now, again, it didn't just start recently. It started as he was a kid too. He says, he came from a family, his family was a joke, small town. His dad was an alcoholic. And he'll never amount to anything. That's it. And the teacher, one of the painful moments of his life is when the teacher said, Tim, you're just as sorry as your dad. You'll never amount to anything.
Wow.
And that's an imprint. That's an emotional education. That's a trauma. So from that point forward, Tim vowed to be somebody. So he's working hard. He's got a great job. He's got a great family. He's got a great everything. But the problem with this is that Tim brought with him the little Tim who'll never amount to anything. So the pain that drove him to do something was the pain that wanted to hang himself. Because again, a divided mind will fall. So I got chills going through me. The key truly is to clean up the negativity. You can use the negativity to catapult you, but if you don't leave it, it destroys you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the deep unconscious trainings,
Yes.
And of course, that's if you can change, which I can help you and train you, and I do it myself, change those key points, those key trainings or events that has caused your life to redirect. You change those and you can readjust your life manifestations.
That's right. So confessing or affirming all these affirmations every single day, doing 3-6-9 method and all the scripting every day in every way, I'm going to get healthier, wealthier, and wiser. That is not going to work on its own.
It will work for a while until you go back to normal.
Yes, because you have
Because you got the facade and you got the truth.
Yeah.
You want this, and you're going to pretend this and play this, and you can fake it until you try to make it, but if you still bring the little hurt Tim with you, you're still going to go back to the same misery.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key to change.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have heard many people heal their body with using affirmations. Yeah. And so what's going on with that? Can you explain that?
Which system? Their system? Yeah.
Yeah, with their system. Yeah, with their
system. It could. And by the way, it could. I mean, let me just say this. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work. It takes forever to make it work.
Yes, absolutely. I hear you.
And it's like a full-time job. You do it my way, it works without effort.
Mm-hmm.
The effort truly is cleaning up the stuff.
Yes.
Which, by the way, if you don't clean it up, it's going to knock on your door later when you're older.
Yes, it has to come back.
It will come back and knock on your door.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then with your system and healing the body and using affirmations, how does that look now? Like
Well,
it's
what I do, now again, the body is an honest expression of unconscious resources.
Mhm.
So, so the body is just speaking the truth based on what's in the mind. I've had many people who come to my trainings who are really physically ill: lupus, Hashimoto disease, Lyme disease, back pain, multiple chemical sensitivities, you name it, blood tested there, blood tested gone with my system. It's the same thing. Now, by the way, illness is a law of attraction result. You may not believe this as a law of attraction result. It is a success based on the brain.
Yeah.
So when I go back and I start working with individuals and we go and we change what put the pain there, and I use some books. We never did a podcast on heal the body, have we? Not really.
No, that's
Oh,
coming up.
we'll do that. So I'll use some books to help decode the brain to figure out where to go and what to clean up. We go to the memories of hurt and pain and the belief system and the support system, the family connections and all that stuff. We change all this in the brain, the body heals. Well, the body wasn't sick in the first place, but the illness is now released from the body because the body follows the mind. And you can test it anytime. You think of something positive, you're going to feel positive. You can think of something negative, your body will feel negative.
Right.
So the pain in the body is a red waving flag saying, I want to protect you. I want to keep you safe. I don't want you to get hurt again. And plus, you need to be a good family member. All right.
Mhm.
So with this law of attraction, you go and you change the resources in the mind, and then the body follows the changes. Now, I'm talking about real problem. Like these are real physical illnesses, real physical damage, and the pain's gone. You
Wow.
know, Paul, he had 13 angiograms. He had nerve damage in his groin, and he had to have pain medications. He was on morphine to deal with the pain. And he
Mhm.
comes into my session, and I clean up memories of what happened, when it happened, all this stuff. And he walked out pain free. 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later, he came back with a stack of papers this thick. And on there it says nerve damage. He'll have the rest of his life. And there's no nerve damage. There's no pain now. He said, where
Wow.
did the pain go? I said, the doctor's got it. He's limping around now.
Wow. Completely healed. Pain
By the way, he
free.
wasn't sick. He just, his brain was manifesting an illness or a pain.
Right. So then you wouldn't say healed. You would say
Shifted and changed.
it's shifted and changed.
You can call it a healing. It's not there.
Right.
I mean, the body can heal itself.
Hmm.
Doctors can't heal you, but you
Hmm.
change the mind can heal the body or transform the body. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So then why is it, and maybe we'll keep this question. I'm very curious about why is it that for some people it just takes longer? Like if there's like a rash, like why does it take longer?
Depends on the person, depends on what they focus on, and depends on, there's a lot of elements with this.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are quote unquote physically ill
Hmm.
um, are mentally practicing illness every day.
Mm.
They're manifesting it. They're focusing on it. They're worrying about it. They plan it. They rehearse it. They tell their friends about it. They join groups with it. They write a book with it. They get a tattoo because of it.
Gotcha.
It
Hmm.
becomes a value system.
Hmm. Yeah. They're rehearsing it throughout their day in their environment.
They plan their day around it.
Right.
And by the way,
Okay.
that is a survival system too.
Right. Yeah.
So the brain is a manifesting machine.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
like for example, you people say, well, you know, my relationship had completely changed with my mother, and she's never had any sessions. And all she did was do what I asked her to do. I said, go and change the bad memories with your mom, every bad reference with your mom, everything you think about your mom. And all of a sudden, your relationship with her is completely changed. She acts totally different. And most
Hmm.
likely, she was still acting the same, but your filters
Yeah.
distorted everything she did.
Yeah. Yeah. So now your perception is different. Hmm.
And another element to this, your crappy attitude has disappeared. When you're around her, you don't have this gun against her head, so she's squirming around when you're around.
Yeah. Now she's relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. I like that. Okay. So we'll talk more about that when we talk about healing the body. So,
Yeah.
what's one thing our listeners can do today to change what they're attracting into their life?
Well, the most important thing is, first of all, everything you have right now is a success. You've attracted it. Now, granted, there are some elements that you didn't intentionally do. And I want to add this one more thing. There is a weird belief system out there about a law of attraction. For example, let's say a little girl, a little boy was abused or harmed in some way. And they'll say, well, that child attracted that. And I say, that's horseshit. The thing is, they didn't attract it, but they were at the right place at the wrong time, and it happened. Now, I will say this too. I call it the shit happens syndrome. It just happens. You're in an environment, something bad happens. Now, once you receive or experience an unpleasant experience, however your brain translates and internalizes that will ripple effect in your life. So you didn't attract it because you did something wrong. You was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it happened. But how you internalize it and process it will create something in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Wow. So that's how the law of attraction is. When somebody says, whatever, it happened to them, that child attracted us, and that's not true. They were just at the wrong place. Now they can attract it later because they have information and data their brain can start using to attract more. Mm-hmm. All right, to say that. Now let's go back to if you want to be able to attract more and better in your life, mm-hmm. The most important thing is understanding that everything you have right now is a success. Everything you have is a success. You successfully created no money. You successfully created ill health. You successfully created whatever you have. If you don't like it, you have to change what filters that are on top of your manifester, which is the creative force. That means if you had bad experiences around money, because of money, witnessing people who handle money badly, live trainings, experience trainings, money trainings, you change all those memories, you turn them into something you want, your brain will naturally produce from that. So to solve the riddle is to change memories and know how to change memories. If you're fond of unpleasant memories, I just say, good luck. How's it working for you? Right. Because it will come back and knock on your emotional door. Yes. So what we want to do is be able to change the reason why we have problems, which is memories, make internal adjustments, practice and rehearse what you want, you get what you practice. Mm-hmm. Completely, mind, body, soul, prefrontal, and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I think that we have received the answers that we were searching for with the law of attraction. So that's all for today's episode. And thank you so much, Robert, for sharing all your wisdom with all of us today. Any last words?
I just say learn to take control, being the master of your own mind, because if you're in control of your mind and you know how to move furniture around, change and adjust it, your world's going to be a whole lot better. Keep no souvenirs unless they feel good, and change everything else.
That's right.
Love yourself, like yourself from within.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And don't forget to sign up for Robert's free 5-day online course. Bye-bye.
Peace. Well, that was good, huh?
That was so good. Robert, you are one of the wisest men I know in my entire life. I've listened to very many people.
Seriously?
Yes.
You're not blowing smoke, are you?
No. This is every time you make me rethink things and you clarify things for me. And then when we're doing the podcast, you answer me before I ask the question. I have like several questions. It's like you read my mind and you don't even know it. You're too humble.
Well, let me be honest with you. It's in large print. It's easy to read.
You're good, Robert. It's really amazing.
So really, I answer them before you even give them to me, huh?
Every single podcast we've been doing, you answer it beforehand. And you're such a teacher because you'll say things, you'll say the question and you'll answer the question. But you say it before, right? And it's like, I'm looking at the question, I'm ready to go. And there you go. And I'm like, okay, so just take it, just flow. So
that's weird, isn't it? I must be intuitive.
You must be intuitive.
maybe as I've done this so many times, I know the answers and the problems, maybe,
Yeah, but it's weird because you will, I'm thinking of the question and then you start saying those words and I'm like, oh, he said affirmation. Now this is my time where I can talk about affirmation. And then you go, and so it's really interesting because it's like you're reading my thoughts
Hmm.
before it's like you're reading my thoughts before I say the question, but I have the question here.
Hmm. Hmm. I wonder why. I wonder, huh? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it's just because I know the content pretty well, huh?
I think you're telepathic.
Tell a who? Who's pathic?
Telepathic. You can read
No,
thoughts.
no, I can't.
Oh.
But I definitely can. I know, like you've done this so many times, you know how people work and how they process information, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.